Meanwhile, China still pollutes, India still pollutes, all of Asia still pollutes, and last I checked, we share the same air. It's like you're in an elevator, there's a guy has it to your head and says, you can't fart. But the 400-pound she-beast, she can still fart. Oh, wow. What would the technology of Earth be if we didn't have the EPA? The EV is going to be a chump when we re-elect Trump. This is Rip Roaring Garage. I'm Alex, and I know I should have talked about this earlier, but interesting news that I don't think any car channels have talked about. I'm just going to get right into it. From the Daily Caller exclusive, Trump pledges to end Biden's EV mandate to help consumers. Calls on the UAW to ditch Democrats. Now, obviously, he's going to be partisan. That's to be expected. But this, focusing specifically on the EV, he knows something. Obviously, he's had the clearance, and being that he was a businessman, I don't know, is he still a businessman if they took everything away? But as I've been saying, the EVs in general, this is a business that's being pushed by certain members of Congress, governors, politicians. We know that they're invested in battery factories, motor factories, mostly in China. Now they're starting to come here because the economy is kind of bad, and elections are coming, so they got to build plants. Like I mentioned in the last video, like the Panasonic, Dodge, BMW joint venture in DeSoto, Kansas. That's still going to run on coal. So let's look into the first hurdle I see with this. Pennsylvania, and I'm going to get into Pennsylvania. I got a beef. I got beef. I got bones to pick. All the freaking sausages, and where am I going with this? I'm hungry. Obviously, Donald Trump is targeting two things. He's targeting the infrastructure bill and the Inflation Reduction Act. They include all the pork, and that's something that Matt Gaetz has been working on to eliminate these 50,000 page bills that come in on little carts. Nobody has time to read. Hence the attempt to eliminate omnibus spending. Omnibus means for everything, all encompassing. That's where you see it on license plates on a bus in New Jersey. It says omnibus for everybody. I like buses too, okay? Vroom, vroom. Getting back, the Inflation Reduction Act includes a lot of measures for EVs, mandating by 2035. However, the big problem I see are the states. Now, states can do kind of whatever they want. They can regulate things unless there's perhaps a constitutional claim to be made. I hope that he would take the EPA, fire everybody that's has regulatory powers, and replace them with non-EV religion, non-progressive religious zealots, because that's what they are, and use the EPA's powers to not just ban the EV mandates, ban EVs. Hey, they pollute, they, all sorts of chemicals that are being made with the lithium ion and all that, and just say, yeah, we're going to ban it. This technology is banned except for government use. Democrats have empowered the EPA as an enforcement agency. You did this. So he can actually have this huge impact, even at the state level, but it takes more than just ending the EV mandate. Now, obviously, it's going to help consumers. It might stimulate the economy because if cars are cheaper and you don't have to have subsidies that come from your tax money, as well as the manufacturer that has to offset production costs between two models. We talked about the Charger. It will have a Hurricane variant, and I'm pretty sure that's going to outsell the EV. When their bean counters do their little calculations, they're going to see, I'm going to still call it a Scat Pack. They're going to price the Scat Pack version higher to offset the losses on the Banshee. Okay, so let's check this video.
Brian Wanner runs Peter Brothers Trucking.
John Stossel.
His family business delivers goods all over America. Pennsylvania bureaucrats will force him out of his home state.
We have no say. We can't do anything about it.
No say, because Pennsylvania...
Now, obviously, it's made for dramatic effect, like no say. That's what we call the hook. We want to get you interested. No say. But let's get into...
This is an absolutely transformative rule to clean our air and mitigate climate change.
Emission rules will...
So Transformative. Whenever you hear these kinds of buzzwords, that means they're going to upset the apple cart. It's transformative. So was 1917 in Russia. It's transformative. So what if the economy collapses and, starvation ensues? It's transformative, and we'll have clean air. No food to eat, but clean air.
Emission rules will eliminate tens of thousands of trucks.
If we want to follow California, we can move there.
I like that. If you want to, but New York and New Jersey and now Pennsylvania, which seems to be run basically by Pittsburgh and Philadelphia, the rest of PA can go screw themselves.
I don't want to be anything like California.
But too bad for him. Because years ago, Pennsylvania's Environmental Quality Board decided...
Yeah, and this is the same thing that New York does. And I'm assuming there's a lot more states. I've mentioned this in many videos in the past, talking about the EVs that are coming, the standards, the basically whatever California is doing. Even that bill, one of my good videos that I made, talking about a New York bill that would start in 2024. They're passing off the research buck and the lobbyist buck onto California. California does all this work. It is work, stupid work, but it is work and effort. And they figure, well, let's not pay that money to do it ourselves. We'll just copy their homework.
We'll automatically copy California rules.
California just declared war on pollution from large trucks.
No, they declared war on us, the citizens.
The newest rule, copied from California, will raise the price of new trucks. The truck will cost a third more.
It's anywhere from 50 to 80,000.
It's necessary, said California regulators.
So this is as an incentive to buy an electric vehicle. So they're taxing the diesels more. It's funny because an incentive shouldn't be adding money, should be giving money. It's an incentive. But like when you look at the people that are part of this board in Pennsylvania, you'll understand the type of people there. They're very stupid, like incredibly dumb, because it's going to affect them too.
The time for putting public health second to the economy is over.
Yeah, how is that going to work out when there's no more shipping of medicine or food, bandages, or anything? Because Pennsylvania doesn't make squat. You should drive to Allentown and see the disaster it is. Harrisburg or all these other towns that have no more industry. Yeah, our air is going to be whatever. Meanwhile, China still pollutes, India still pollutes, all of Asia still pollutes, and last I checked, we share the same air. It's like you're in an elevator, there's a guy that has it to your head and says you can't fart. But the 400-pound she-beast, she can still fart. But it's for the quality of the air. You can't fart. You got to hold it in until the freaking eyeballs pop out. But she can let out fat rippers all the freaking time. You're welcome for that image.
We have come so far in the last 40 years. In 1980, one truck produces as much as 60 trucks today.
So we want people to buy new trucks.
Now, this is one thing I think it's a losing tactic. This is engaging in their argument by saying, well, look, trucks don't pollute as much as they did back in 80 or this. No, that's engaging on their terms. I say screw the argument completely. It's a religious thing. This is their religion. We already have laws about clean air and whatever. And we can do local measures if there's air. In fact, if you think about it, what would the technology of Earth be if we didn't have the EPA? Rather than strangling the cars and trucks, think if we had, an incentive to create a technology that scrubs the pollution from the air. That sounds awfully like terraforming. We're talking about Mars and whatnot. Well, there you go. And that's an example of the kind of technology. If you understand how these things work, how there's consequences and a path that's created. Necessity is the mother of all inventions. Having clean air would be a necessity. Therefore, you would find a way to clean that air. Instead, you get government that says, we ban that, and that's where it stays. That's a technological dead end. This is why EVs have not risen above, anything that's capable of tackling your economy car and trucking. It just won't work. Because it's the kind of thing that comes in, it's a political whim. Now all of a sudden we have nothing.
We want people to buy new trucks, but if you put these costs on us, that we cannot afford, we're going to just run the older trucks.
The regulators don't think about that.
They do not think about that. They do not see the consequences of what they're doing.
It's a combination of they don't think about it, as well as they're invested in electric stuff. Now, I do want to talk a little bit about this board.
The people on this board, the Fish and Boat Commission, the Game Commission, the Museum Commission.
Yeah.
What do they know about air pollution?
Well, apparently nothing.
Caleb Kruckenberg of the Pacific Legal Foundation.
The whole idea of having a regulatory board like this is, oh, these people are experts. They know what they're talking about. They're smarter than the lawmakers. But if you look at the board, that's not true.
Exactly. It's creating an elite class, the kind of class that, isn't judged or held to account, especially not by us poor peasants. Like, what do you know? You're not educated. Layer of bureaucracy, of committees and chair board members who create this elite class that isn't questioned by us plebs. They are the experts. Experts say. And it's funny how all these experts end up being wrong, and all that happens is they get promoted, or they move from one of these government positions to CEO of some corporation, which then get some sort of tax break or contract with the government. This is the game they play. The immediate effect of a bill like this, you end up with the trucking companies moving out of Pennsylvania, buying the trucks from out of state. Keep an eye on these vehicles. Yeah, I think that's a Mustang, Mockery, Audi. These are the companies that are like, okay, we're going to help you out. So remember,
California's rules will soon get even more expensive because they want all new vehicles to be electric.
The hope is that it's a pollution reduction. But again, electricity.
That's a good point. And like I say, the problem is whenever you get into these debates with them, they use the fact that you cannot prove what will or will not happen 10 years from now. And that's why it's pointless. Just say, no, we can have clean air and we'll work on the technology to do just that. But if you're going to make cars all electric, then okay, then they come for your stoves. Then what? They're going to come for your lighters. Then what? You can't fart. That's methane. Can't have cows. Life is dirty. Life pollutes. That's the nature of this planet. I can go into all sorts of claims as well. Oil is natural. Oil burns all the time. Volcanoes erupt. The oil seeps a little too far into the crust and oxidizes. Hell, oil will oxidize just sitting there. It'll start breaking up and decaying. I can say that that's part of the cycle of, of life. Plants, animals, they die, they break down into these hydrocarbons, and they get burnt and released into the oxygen, into the air. Bacteria will eat it, and so on. And then those bacteria are eaten by the plants, and plants eaten by the cow, and we eat the cow. They seem to want to terraform Earth into something else. I think this is, like I said, a very important issue. This is what the man says. And I'm hoping for it, because the EV stuff is going to destroy us. It is religious penance by the progressives. There is a thing as self-flagellation, and there's some religious groups that do it. Progressives are one of them. I, for one, don't share their auto-punitive measures. So anyway, life moves on. Still have the t-shirts, the speed metal, and the speedboats, obviously, Charger, Challenger, whatever you want. Check me out on Rumble. Do me a favor. Those of you guys that are out there, subscribe over there, because I'm seeing a big boost. Hundreds of views out of nowhere. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. Let's see if we can give some competition to YouTube. For those of you that are super eagle eye and whatever, check out the description in Rumble, because I can't put the name of the site. It's BitChute. I can't say any of those freaking words on this stupid platform. It's me again, because I keep forgetting things. I didn't want to sneak this little thing in here. This is the video of the Luton Airport. Woo! Yeah, wow. That is one big fireball. Yeah, it ain't a diesel. It was a diesel electric Land Rover. Land Rover? I sound like Astro from the Jetsons. But yeah, if you want to know more about this, check out Uncle Tony's Garage. because he does break down common sense things, temperatures. Diesel doesn't burn hot enough to melt their freaking steel structures. Just doesn't. Right? So, yeah, sorry, but the lie ain't gonna stand, BBC. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I can guarantee you that's an EV. Otherwise, again, all the movies in the 80s where cars explode and all that, why would they hire pyrotechnics experts? Gas doesn't explode that way. So I'm Alex. This is Rip Roaring Garage, where oil is thicker than blood. Hammy alike. And I hope you have a rip roaring day. What the hell? What the hell? Go away. As what am I looking at here? Teeth. Oh, okay. Peter Brothers. I thought he said Peterbilt trucking, and he's like, he's driving a Kenworth.
One more walk around of that. The bit can't talk.